Hey Connect friends, it's been a while since I created a video with a recipe. I'm actually going to be making something tonight. It's not for me, it's actually for my grandmother, but it is called pepper steak. And I'll kind of just quickly go over what ingredients you'll need, and then I'll list the recipe in the description as well. You're going to want about 1 pound of a beef round steak. So this is a little over a pound, but once I trim all the fat and stuff, I figure it'll be close to a pound. You're going to need, I do 4 bell peppers and I try to get one of each color. So I have green, orange, red and yellow, 1 onion. It's about medium, I guess. I don't know if that's considered medium or large. You can see my hand. And I'm gonna use about 3 cloves of garlic. And then I just gonna add a little sriracha. You can use any kind of like hot pepper sauce, it doesn't matter, any sauce. The recipe does call for just a tiny bit of sugar, so I'm going to actually replace it with truvia. You're gonna need cornstarch, low sodium soy sauce, a couple cans of the diced tomatoes, or you can do chopped tomato. I also did get the one with no salt added. And then you're gonna need beef broth. Again, I went with the less sodium. She's on a lower sodium diet, so I choose to use the ones with less sodium for her. A little olive oil spray. And then you're also gonna need water and some pepper. And I think that's it. If I missed anything, it will be listed in the description. So I'm going to start by chopping up all my bell peppers, onion, and garlic, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and chopped up the garlic, and then I chopped up all 4 of the bell peppers and the onion just in like little strips. They're not exact all of them, but basically. And then I went ahead and sliced up the meat as well in strips. And then now we're gonna start cooking. Okay, we are going to start by sauteing the onions and the garlic. So I actually picked out my onions and put it in a separate bowl. I should have did that to begin with. But anyhow, let's continue. So my pan is warming up. I use some olive oil spray, and I'm gonna go ahead and add my onion and my garlic. And you wanna just saute this up till it's translucent. And go ahead and get like an extra bowl handy, because once we cook this, we're gonna actually take it out and put it to the side. So the original recipe for this calls for a couple tablespoons of olive oil, which you would use some of it for this and then some with the meat, but I'm trying to save on points, so I'm replacing the oil with just spray. It also called for regular sugar, and I replaced it for the truvia. And then I'm not sure if beef broth in general has points, but the low sodium one that I got is 0. So just trying to, you know, replace little items here and there to save points. Really, most of your points in this recipe is coming from the meat. I personally don't care to eat beef. So like I mentioned in the beginning, this dish is something that I make for my grandmother, and then I portion it and put it away for her to eat, you know, when she wants it. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish cooking these, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna take it out and stick it in a bowl to the side, and then I'll be back for the next step. Okay, now that I have removed the onions into the bowl, the onions and the garlic, my pan is still hot. I sprayed a little more olive oil spray, and now I'm going to add the beef. And you're going to want to saute the beef until it's browned. So I will go ahead and brown this meat up, and then I will be right back with you guys. Okay, now that I have the beef all browned, I'm going to just remove that and add that to the bowl with the onions. Okay, now your next step is you're going to add 1 cup of the beef broth. You're going to add 1/4 cup low sodium soy sauce. Excuse me, it is late over here. It's actually midnight and I'm cooking. You're gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of the sugar substitute, truvia. Well, you can use whatever one you like. And I have a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And then you're gonna add some kind of, if you want it to be a little spicier to counteract, I think, the sweetness, I'm gonna just do sriracha. So I'm just gonna add a few splashes of that in there. And then you wanna go ahead and mix this up well. And then we're going to add back in our meat, onions, and garlic. And go ahead and give that a good stir, mix it in, and then we are going to cover it and simmer this for 30 minutes. So we want to simmer this for 30 minutes, and then we'll move on to the remaining steps to finish up. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to a simmer, cover it up, and set my timer for 30 minutes. Okay, everyone, it's been 30 minutes simmering. Now we're going to add in our can of tomatoes. And also our chopped up bell peppers. I'm going to carefully mix this up without spilling. And then I'm going to put the lid back on and cook it for an additional about 5 minutes until the bell peppers are cooked. You still want them crispy, but you want to cook them. So I would say maybe 5 minutes covered. So let's get this mixed in. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and cover this like I mentioned, and I'm gonna keep simmering it for about 5 minutes, and then I'll check on it. Okay, so I actually ended up turning the fire up a little, and it's been cooking for about 8 to 10 minutes. So now at this point, what you wanna do is you're gonna get 1/4 cup of water, and you wanna mix in 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. And we're going to use this to try and thicken up the sauce just a bit. So I'm going to just pour a little in here and just kind of mix it around. think I'm just gonna kind of do that in like different areas of the pan here. And then honestly, I just think like the amount of time that you want to cook it will be dependent on how crispy you want your bell peppers to be, because obviously the longer you cook it, the softer they will be. I like to try and keep them a little crispier because, as everybody knows, once you reheat this dish later, it's also going to cook it again. So if you keep them a little crispier to begin with, then it should be pretty good. But anyway, that's it, you guys. I figured out the points. If you were to cut this into 4 servings, it's going to be 5 points a serving. I will also list if you want to make it, let's say 6 servings. You know, the points will go down, and I will list all those options that you can put or, you know, make it into. And I'll list all of that in the description. So, that's it, you guys. I know a lot of you have been asking me for a new recipe. Again, this isn't really for me, but I did make it Weight Watcher friendly so that those of you that enjoy eating beef, steak, could have something a little different to try. So I hope you guys enjoyed. All right, have a good one. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and divided this meal into 6 servings. And these are big servings. This container is split into 2, but I just used the 1/2. You can see though, it's a big bowl. I mean, it's, so I didn't weigh it or anything. If it was for myself, I probably would have weighed every portion to make it exact, but with all the ingredients that I used and divided into 6 portions, you're looking at 3 points per serving. If you make this into a 5-portion meal, it'll go up to 4 points. And if you're feeling a little hungrier and you wanted to split it into 4 meals, so you have bigger portions, it is then a 5-point meal. Sorry, it is so late, you guys. It's now 1 a.m. so I'm gonna go ahead and leave one of these out for my grandma to eat tomorrow, and then I freeze the other 5, and then once they're frozen and solid, I usually pop them out of this container and then vacuum seal it, and then they store really well in the freezer for later. So you can kind of meal prep this way. It makes it nice. You just pull it out and then punch a couple holes in the bag and microwave it. So the vacuum sealer is pretty awesome. All right, so I hope you enjoy this recipe. Let me know if you end up making it and how it comes out for you. All right, guys, later.